We welcome to the show, Sinclair Skinner. Welcome to the Karen Hunter Show.
All right. Thank you, Sister Hunter. Thank you for having me.
All right. First, you got a pin on that says you love black people. Me too.
Sure, you're right.
Yep. And that's not like all lives matter. It's like I could love black people and love all people. Okay, so knock it off. So first, talk to me. How did you get involved in Bitcoin before we get into this Africa thing?
Well, I've been doing business overseas for about 10 years, basically. It's now since 2007. And one of the biggest problems in moving and doing business abroad is actually moving money. And there's so many middle people between you and whoever you're trying to receive it. And Bitcoin became a real great way of taking out the middle person and allowing peer-to-peer transactions to take place, which is super huge. Up until this point, you either have to have a bank account, you got to have ATM, you got to go through someone else, Western Union.
Some form of a money changer.
Right.
I'm just putting it in different language.
So now with Bitcoin, you no longer have to do that. You have sovereignty. And I think one of the things that we need as a people is more sovereignty, more control over our lives. So this is a tool. It's, again, I think with the skepticism, I think it's fair. It's neither good or bad. It can
just
hurt.
An option.
It's just an option. It's just a tool. It can be used to recolonize us, or it can be used to decolonize our lives. But it's not something. It's not absolute.
Right.
But that's why we need to get more black folks as makers, not just users. It's not about just buying some Bitcoin, understanding the blockchain and figuring out use cases where we can solve our problems.
Okay, so back up.
Sorry.
You saying some stuff like blockchain and stuff that some people may like, what the hell is a blockchain? All right, so you're again, we're Sinclair Skinner, BitMari, he's the CEO of it. He founded it. Do you have a bank account?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not saying either or, you're saying everything, which is what I think we need to be nimble enough to be involved in everything. We need stocks, we need bonds, we need insurance, we need to have gold. I believe in gold too, because that's another universally transferable commodity. Gold and silver, you can go to any place in the world and get that exchange. Tell me how do you get here?
Okay, so
blockchain.
and I'm co-founder. My a fellow Howard University grad, Christopher Mapendera, is my co-founder, and like I said, we've been doing work together now 10 years. BitMari means Mari means money in Shona. Shona is one of the indigenous languages in Zimbabwe, going back to your theme about learning. And I'm still trying to learn some words. I'm terrible at language. But so when you were saying that, I need to do better. I blame age, but so I don't need to blame that. I need to do better. I need to do better. I need to say ni hao to some folks too. I'm all bad. But so with BitMari, getting people to realize that even there's a thing called M-Pesa in Kenya where they use mobile money, but even that company has a actual regular bank. So as we transition, we're in a space where we're transitioning from different places. I think ultimately we're going to render banks obsolete in many ways.
Bernie Sanders would be happier with that. Got to break up the banks.
Yeah,
I
think we should. But it's just like even how we handle our digital pictures. We didn't start just throwing away all our pictures, but people started digitizing it. As the internet, as our access to this technology got better and it made sense, okay, we're going to digitize it. But before, people held a bunch of pictures stacked up somewhere.
They had albums for days, right?
But that's not what the future. If we think that paper money is the future of the world, it's the same people still holding on to Polaroids. I'm not knocking it if that's your thing.
Right.
But as a people, with all the problems, the issues we have, we need magnitudinal change. We don't need incremental change.
What did you say? Magnitudinal.
Yeah, so we need big change. So humbly, I love you too, sister.
He said magnitudinal change.
So we need to be the ones that are engaged in this technology. And we may not have did everything with the internet, but this is another technology that is so early that when we get into it, we can use our own orientation. Like I said, I'm at a conference and they're talking about Bitcoin. These folks aren't thinking about failed school systems. They're not thinking about, the government having police officers kill us in the street. That's not their priorities. So all these and they're not racist because of that. But no one's going to come save us. We got to take technology and use it to solve our problem. When we have a problem getting access to money in our community because there's no ATM, we got to say, you know what? Am I going to run around here protesting the bank to make them put something in my community so I can make them money? No. It's the same thing I did with these taxi cab drivers. One of the most humiliating times as a black man was trying to catch a cab. Well, I just use Lyft now. I didn't call Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson. I got my own application now that I use, and I've rendered that level or form of oppression obsolete. So they can keep driving wherever they want to do. I'm good. So
go ahead and don't pick me up if you don't want to.
You keep going. God bless you. I'm going this way. You know what I'm saying? I got this thing. So the same thing with our money in the financial institutions. These banks, the Barclays, all these banks, if you try to create a bank today using the same methodology that they created themselves, those would be crimes against humanity. So there's nothing. I don't cry no tears for bank. What it took for them to create themselves was robbing, killing, and stealing.
Tell it.
So now that we're clear.
Wait, back up. Tell the story. Do you know the story?
Yeah. So when you start talking about how did a Barclays create the cash reserves they have, those were resources in Africa. Even when we talk about the De Beers and the institutions,
those are the diamond people.
That were chartered by the government of England to do what they did. I mean, they were what they did to us was legal. So that's why I don't even get caught up in what people tell me about. We're going to use laws to change it. Politics ain't going to save us. Laws ain't going to save us. Militarism ain't going to change. I think technology is the most useful tool to address the issues we have. But so often the civil rights community are using technology from 1983. And then the people in the technology community have no orientation. They misunderstand.
I was just helping you out. Go ahead.
Right. That's what they use in fax machines. And then the people in technology misunderstand Westernization for innovation. So they're up here glorifying European culture instead of actually realizing that we offer as much innovation, probably more, than anyone else has.
Why are you being modest? 866. And listen, I like the humbly, but let's tell the truth. All right, 866-801-8255. We're talking with Mr. Skinner. Sinclair, which I love. That's like such an erudite name, Sinclair Skinner.
No, I'm changing it. I'm gonna get an African name.
Why?
It's gonna be Mr. and Mrs. Moyo.
Moyo. What
that means
Moyo?
Heart. That means heart.
Okay.
It's
you just got married, so you changing everything?
Yeah, we're gonna change. Why would I keep the slave? If I'm free, why would I keep the slave master's name?
Okay, so you changing the Sinclair part too? Come on, because your parents thought about that.
Now, let me tell you, they thought about it. My father still's like, don't change nothing. But
yeah.
I'm grown.
Because you've owned it.
Well, I'm saying, look, we're not honoring our great grandfather's, legacy by keeping a slave master's name. There's nothing about that admirable. If he had the power, my great great grandfather would have changed his name.
Right.
But he didn't have that power. Now I have it, and to not use it is almost like a perversion.
I feel you, but I'm not going to disrespect anybody that's keeping their name. You understand? Like, I get the X and the Shabazz. I get that, because here's what I said. Karen Hunter, there are a lot of them. There's another Karen Hunter somewhere in Auckland. She's a good guitarist. KarenHunter.com is a musician, right? A woman musician from New Zealand, okay? So that name is common, but I've made it uncommon. You understand? Because that's my name. So I've owned something that, may have slave roots, but so does Chitlins. I mean, we're getting rid of that too. So, but I hear what you're saying. I'm not mad at you.
No, I'm just saying that names are meant to do more than that. Even if you understand why your name is Hunter and why a European named himself Hunter and why a European named himself Skinners. Europeans don't have the same level of sophistication in many of these indigenous people. In indigenous Africa, a name is connected to
a legacy,
to a real legacy in history. So when I say my name, I'm telling you a lot about myself.
Right.
When
I say we don't have that connection,
right.
though.
So when I say Skinner, what is that?
But it's somebody snatched from a place, brought to a place, stripped of all of those things, and recreating themselves. I think it's almost the ultimate power move to take something that you gave me and make it into something great. Because I don't know who the original hunters are. And looking at my cafe au lait skin, I'm saying there's some miscegenation here that I had no control over. And as a result of that, it is what it is. So I like to deal with what I can deal with and what I know from here. I can't go back there and trace my roots. I know that I'm from the original Liberia.
You can change today.
I'm going to. With what I do, with what the time, the breath of my body, and what's in a name, sir, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet.
That's Eurocentric.
No, it's Shakespeare.
They said the name. They said the one thing your parents give you that you're gonna have your whole life, if they rich or poor, is a name. It should mean something. It should be powerful.
I agree with you.
Karen Hunter
means something.
No, you mean something. God bless you.
It means something. It means something. You ain't gonna tell me it doesn't.
If they put our names, Sinclair Skinner, on the street sign, it doesn't inform our people. But if they put, something Morio, I haven't figured out the first.
I don't believe it. You're right.
No. It would cause a question though. You were like, what's
what
Morio?
Is that? Right.
If you say Hunter, you already know it's a European. You're not going to even question it. I mean, I'm not saying you should, but you're going to be like, Hunter, Skinner. Like, if somebody didn't
all right,
even...
I don't want to derail this conversation. We're not going to agree on this. No, that's fine. I mean, we're not going to agree. I hear your point, and I agree with your point, but I also think I have a point, and we could both have a point that's valid. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am.
866-801-8255. I say do what makes you happy.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not going to sit in judgment of you if you don't want to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm not going to sit in judgment of people who want to do that. And I think, this is the problem that we have in this world, is that people spend way too much time worrying about what other people are doing. And I think, we have been given this life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness so that we can do all the things we want to do unencumbered by somebody else's view. So let's just do it. And the one thing I want is for people to be rich, because that way I think people who are comfortable in their pockets make better choices in life, and they also are informed by a level of security that people who aren't happy, who aren't wealthy, who don't have access to things aren't. So I want people to have access. So you're giving them a way to get into this Bitcoin. So tell us how we do this.